Members, I understand this call is to be a...
No, not
oh, I call Calvin Davis.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, I, along with the rest of the Labour Party, oppose the Marine and Coastal Area Takutai Moana Bill. If the fact that over 4,000 submitters oppose this bill, albeit for polar opposite reasons, was not enough reason to oppose it, the poor process of the Select Committee, that 1, blocked any legal advice being obtained by the committee on the effect of the changes to the threshold test for establishment of a customary marine title, or 2, the process that forced through hasty consideration of the 500-page departmental report on submission, or 3, the process that did not include any revision track review of the bill in respect of any of the many amendments recommended by officials which made proper consideration and deliberation impossible, or 4, the process which saw government members block a resolution that a revision track version be prepared prior to deliberation, or 5, the process that ignored the submissions of hundreds of submitters whose submissions have had no substantive analysis by the committee, as evidenced by the fact that the Select Committee reported back without comment on most issues and without a single amendment, be it technical or substantive, and the process which left many important technical issues unresolved, are all reasons enough to oppose the bill. Mr Speaker, I was embarrassed by the process this bill went through. When I explain to schools and other groups the process used to develop legislation, I tell them that if people want to participate, then they need to make submissions on issues, ask to be heard at Select Committee and put their case forward. The various points of view will be heard, deliberated on and decisions made. I tell them that they may not get their way, but they will be given a fair hearing. That is obviously not true. During the Select Committee process, a range of opinions were heard. Some I agreed with, many I did not, but I respected those submitters' right to be heard and to voice their opinion. I am embarrassed that I was part of a process that dismissed their points of view without due consideration, and apologise to those people who have been misled as to the integrity of the legislative process. Democracy has been the loser. Mr Speaker, the Marine and Coastal Area Bill could have settled the issue of the foreshore and seabed once and for all. New Zealand has been persuaded that the foreshore and seabed is the issue most important to Māori. It is not. Attention has been diverted from those issues that are really affecting Māori. While the Māori Party have been focused on wet sand, our people are suffering. What have they done as part of this government about easing the cost of living? Why did they vote for the rise in GST? What have they done as part of this government to create jobs for Māori? What have they done as part of this government to enable our children to succeed at school? What have they done as part of this government to prevent our teenagers from having babies? What have they done as part of this government to reduce Māori incarceration? What have they done as part of this government to support and develop Māori business and enterprise? What have they done as part of this government to reduce Māori dependency on drugs and alcohol? What have they done as part of this government to reduce the numbers of our women and children being beaten at the hands of our menfolk? And if the answer is whānau ora, I ask which of the specific issues that I've just raised will whānau ora alleviate? To what extent? By when? How will we recognise the success? And will the pending budget cuts to whānau ora condemn it to failure? We can focus again on the wet sand, or we can develop policy that will support schools, that will see teachers use research-based best practice strategies, establish relationships with Māori students at whānau and develop Māori-relevant curriculum pedagogy. We can focus on the symbolic, or we can develop policy that will prevent Māori from developing diabetes, renal failure, becoming obese or seeking solace in drugs and alcohol. We can focus on the symbolic, or we can develop policy that will create Māori jobs for Māori, ease the cost of living for Māori, and help Māori to be even more successful contributors to our society. We can focus on the symbolic, or we can develop policy that will see our people living in warm, comfortable and secure homes. Mr Speaker, Travelling around Takutai, I hear and see directly the sense of hopelessness amongst many of our people. Too many are simply struggling to survive, and they see a parliament arguing about wet sand.
That's right.
And are wondering why we can't put the same amount of energy and passion into helping them, the people. We will now have the spectre of the Māori Party relitigating this issue every 3 years post-election. But for that, they will be happy. Grievance is what gives them strength. They are a party happy to entrench Māori with a sense of injustice, because it is always easier to criticise and condemn rather than search for opportunities for growth, development and prosperity. And while they relitigate this issue, our people will still be underachieving at school, getting locked up, knocked up, beaten up, drunk, stoned and killed. It is a missed opportunity, and it is time to move on and focus on the real issues that affect Māori. And anyone who knows me knows I believe the path to Māori success lies in education. I have said before that we will achieve more in one generation of fully educated Māori than we will in another 171 years of grievance. Education can and will address underachievement. Success at school will mean Māori are better equipped to seek higher paid employment and assist the cost of living. Success at school will reduce Māori teenage pregnancy rates. Success at school will reduce Māori incarceration rates. Success at school will enable Māori to succeed in business and enterprise. Success at school will reduce Māori drug and alcohol dependency. Success at school will help reduce the rates of child and spousal abuse. Through highly educated Māori, we'll be able to achieve the highest positions in the land. We'll be able to achieve in the worlds of business, finance, politics, the arts, sciences and humanities. Through highly educated Māori, we'll be able to gain the respect, influence and credibility that sadly many of us lack now. Through highly educated Māori, we will regain the self-respect and dignity that many have lost. So Māori need to be brave enough to venture on a new path that leads us away from grievance and onto a proactive and progressive path that enables us to achieve our dreams, goals and aspirations both in the 21st century and into the future. We owe it to our children and grandchildren to leave them a better Māori world than the one that we inhabit now, and if we don't, we have failed our people and we have failed our future. A Māori world of grievance simply condemns our people to the same reality that we are living in now, and they deserve more from us. I stand here as a Māori Member of Parliament and implore all other Māori Members of Parliament to focus on that which will move us forward and not that will trap our children in the same cycle of discontent. Mr. Speaker, the Labour Party oppose the Takutai Moana bill because it focuses on the wet sand, it focuses on the issues, it doesn't focus on the issues that mean the most to Māori, and those are the issues of cost of living, the issues of education, the issues of Māori incarceration, the issues of teenage pregnancy rates, all those issues that really matter to the people. We can focus all our energies for as long as we want on the wet sand and all those other things, but at the end of the day, it is our people. And this bill does not address the issues that are pushing and suppressing our people, and that is one of the major reasons why the Labour Party do not support it. And I look over there at the other side at the people like Tauhena there who are playing up for the crowds. The only reason he's sitting there and yelling his head off is because there's an audience, and he's more interested in playing up for the crowds than he is in fact addressing the issues that are really putting our people down. So I say to Tauhena there, shame on him for sitting there and just mouthing off and not actually coming up with any issues that are going to make a difference for Māori, Mr. Speaker. Not only that, he was the guy that led the Māori Affairs Select Committee astray. A terrible process. He needs to be ashamed for his part in perpetuating this whole horrible bill that's going on before the House. Kia ora tātou.